Hello everyone, my name is Dahlia binti Aziz and my metric number 293929. So today I'm going to present about a study on Apollo Food Holdings Berhad performance and its determinants. Apollo Food Holding Berhad is an investment holding company that based in Malaysia, engaged in the manufacturing, trading, in marketing and distributing chocolate, confectionery, product and cakes, and compound chocolates in Malaysia. Apollo Holding Berhad operated through two segments, which are investment holding segment and manufacturing, marketing and distribution segment. Problem statement: a crisis in the firm includes the execution of unethical, immoral, or deceptive actions by the company or a person acting in their capacity as an employee of a company. Besides, the issue of declined stock and solid fundamental is about Apollo Healthcare Corporation said that with its takedown 26% over the past of 3 months, it is easy to disregard Apollo Healthcare. So, stock prices are usually driven by a company's financial performance over the long term, which is this case looks quite promising. So, earnings growth is an important metric to consider when valuing a stock. For the research objective, we have three objectives, which is first to investigate the internal or firm specific factor towards performance of the Apollo Food Holdings Berhad. Second, to investigate the external or macroeconomic factors towards performance of the Apollo Food Holding Berhad. And third, to investigate the firm specific factor and macroeconomic factor towards performance of the Apollo Food Holdings Berhad. And for the research question, there are three questions for this research, which is the first one is there any relationship between firm specific factors with Apollo Food Holdings Berhad's performance? And the second one, is there any relationship between macroeconomic factors towards Apollo Food Holdings Berhad performance? And third, is there any relationship between firm specific factors and macroeconomic factors towards Apollo Food Holdings Berhad performance? There are 6 literature review for this study. So first, corporate governance. Corporate governance is a broad term that describes the process, customs, policies, laws, and institutions that guide how organizations and corporations act, administer, and control their operation. Second, operational risk. Operational risk is the possibility of suffering a loss, whether financial or otherwise, due to internal process that are ineffective or fail. So third, liquidity risk. Liquidity risk referred to as funding risk for business. Fourth, market risk. Market risk is the risk that an organization faces and in its external environment. So next, credit risk. Credit risk defined as the likelihood that borrower will be unable to repay a loan, in which case the lender could forfeit the loan's principal as well as any occur interest. So the last one, performance. So based on Russia research categories that the main factor that affect profitability into two main groups, internal and external determinants. For research methodology, I use population or sampling technique, which is the sampling technique is of this research is Apollo Food Holding Berhad. This company is one of the food and beverage industries in Malaysia. For the statistical technique, the information used is this study was taken from the annual report for the year 2019 to 2018 of Apollo Food Holdings Berhad. Based on Investopedia 2018, ordinary least square or OLS regressions, also known as linear regression, was the primary method used to complete this study. The least square method was employed by the researcher to look at the line of best fit that best explain the potential relationship between an independent variable and a dependent variable. For data analysis, we use internal factors, external factors, and internal and external factors. For method statistical package for social sciences, SPSS, So IBM SPSS Statistics version 29 was used to compute data from the annual report and obtain the result for this study. IBM SPSS statistic was used to compute descriptive statistic, linear regression, correlation, and coefficients between independent variables and dependent variables based on quantitative data obtained from annual report and official website. There are three models using in this study, which is dependent variable versus internal factors, second dependent variable versus external factor, and third dependent variable versus internal and external factors. From the descriptive analysis, the study shows that the mean ROE is 0.07615, which implies that this company's financial performance is about 7%. The mean of the quick ratio is 14.3151, which shows a high mean. A high quick ratio indicates that the company has a strong ability to pay off its short-term liabilities, such as accounts payable and accrued expenses. For operating margin, the mean that we got is 0.1174, translates to 11.74%, which implies that this company's efficiency in generating profits. In order to increase the operating margin, as a measure of long-term performance, it is necessary to manage the financial structure. Under liquidity risk, the mean of the current ratio is 19.3806. This indicates very high liquidity, meaning the company has a significant amount of current asset relative to its short-term debt. The current ratio has a significant positive relationship with profitability. For internal summary, this study shows that out of 8 variables, only 3 contributed to Apollo Food Holding Berhad's financial performance, or ROE, with an adjusted R-square of negative 0.990 or negative 0.99%. In contrast, the remaining variables are not relevant to this study. For the external summary, the study findings indicate that only 3 significantly impact Apollo Food Holding Berhad's return on equity, with an R-square of 0.950 or 95%. So the remaining variables are not relevant to this study. So for external model summary, predictors GDP, exchange rate, and standard deviation. For the internal and external model summary, the study displays that only 3 contributed to Apollo Food Holding Berhad performance, or ROE, with an R-square of 0.997 or 100%. For the correlations, the most significant and has a strong positive correlation with dependent variable ROE is the operating margin with 0.880. Thus, this shows that the operating margin have an impact to the ROE. Meanwhile, the debt to income shows that the significant negative correlation to ROE with value of negative 0.985. For the internal coefficients, the current ratio has a significant effect on ROA because the p-value more than 0.10, which is 0.106. So the operating margin and CG index have a p-value of 0.037 and 0.093, which means not significant to the dependent variable, or ROE. The fact that misuse of the terms significant and non-significance only amplifies the importance of the statistical problem revealed in the present study. To conclude this study, as a result, there is substantial evidence that internal and external variables have a more significant influence on Apollo Food Holdings Berhad performance. Besides that, referring to the correlation table, there are 7 independent variables, specifically quick ratio, current ratio, interest rate, exchange rate, unemployment rate, and inflation rate, which positively affect Apollo Food Holding Berhad performance. To win society support and preserve long-term prosperity, the corporation must reduce operational risk by protecting the environment. Because society has already granted the firm complete authorization to control and utilize natural resources, the company bears considerable society responsibility for what it does and how it operates. Such operational risk can be managed through collaboration. Managing any kind of risk, including operational risk, should not fall only on the shoulders of a single department, since business operation do not operation in silos. So, lastly, by appointing a risk committee in their company, the advantage of having a risk committee are clear-cut, strengthen both oversight of firm operations and their management, and a capacity to predict the response to situation and pattern that would otherwise be impossible to understand. So that's all from me. Thank you.